Back at the shop, trying to get back into a world before the silver truck got molested. Getting all set up to press in the track bar ball joint. I use the old one to mock it up because I air hammer all these ball joints out. I don't use a ball joint press to take anything out. So now I'll set it up using the old ball joint. New ball joints are in the freezer, and then I'm gonna heat this up a little bit. I just want it to go in nice and smooth. So I'll do this mock up right here and get it ready. We also take the sway bar end links off, loosen the shocks up, put a jack underneath the axle and lower it down. Pretty hairy. That's why we got jack stands all over the damn place holding the frame up so that I can have enough room up here on the top. Now you could push it on the bottom too. I've ran the same problem where you've got that up against the concrete. Now this is problems of doing a chassis not on a lift, right? We do it on the ground. That's how I've always done it. I mean, I'm sitting down comfy. I'm all right doing it like this. Is it moving? Hand slippery. Zoom in close to see if that's all the way down. It appears so. Yeah, it's tight. Okay, that is track bar ball joint install. Finished install, forward ball joint, there you go. So now we'll throw the track bar on and use that ratchet strap right there to get it lined up and have that on the truck. Done, because I can be done with that right now. If you've got all this separated and you took it all apart, you got the sway bar off and the jack is holding the axle. If you take the jack down more, then you can take the spring out, and then it's very, very easy to tighten the upper ball joint, because a lot of times your socket will actually hit up here when you're trying to get the torque. Yeah, I can't take it. These shocks actually do have pretty good rebound. I mean, they might be getting a little bit worn. Shocks are easy to replace afterwards. So I'm gonna graze over them real quick. We're just gonna throw some black paint on it. Don't take but a couple minutes to go ahead and paint it up. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, just threw a quick coat of paint on that. Right now we're gonna throw the track bar in. When you got your track bar and you're doing it, look, it doesn't line up because the axle moves when you take the track bar off. So that's where this ratchet strap comes in handy. And I can hook it anywhere over here because my goal is to pull the axle over to the driver's side to get that to line up. Yeah, I mean, something as simple as that right there. And then you can ratchet this. It's a two-handed deal, but...
Ratchet this?
Okay, now she'll ratchet that and watch it come closer.
Maybe.
Moving the jack and everything. Well, yeah, that's it. She needs to ratchet it faster than that, but it needs to move like an inch. So generally why I like doing track bars with the tires on. If the chassis is all together and you're sitting on the tires, then you can just turn the wheel. It works great. So if the steering is all on and this needs to go over that way, so you could turn the wheel, it will move the heck out of this axle and you can generally get it lined up just by using the steering linkage to turn it side to side. But since we got everything disassembled here, we got to use the old ratchet strap method. So that's what we're doing right here. In a perfect world, it'll all stay up off the ground and not crash down because I'm ratcheting it all, tweaking everything sideways. I got 4 jack stands and a jack holding this truck up. Let's make sure it stays off the concrete. All right, so I went ahead and pulled this off. I talked to Ron about just putting them in and letting them go, but look at that. I mean, that's empty. There's nothing in there.
Well, your hand's in the way.
Oh, there's just, I mean, it's empty. So Don had this. This is from John Deere. It's a needle with a grease circ on the end. And I took the ring off. It's just a freaking lock ring on it. And I can pearl it to the side and put that up in there. And then I can couple onto that and pump it full of grease for the very first time, because this is never gonna get grease again for the rest of its life.
I mean, unless Ron's got a needle greaser.
Yeah, unless Ron greases this, but most of the time, I mean, this is a sealed component, so it's gonna last the life of it. So whatever grease we put in it, the concept is that these connections are tight enough to keep the grease in and the contaminants out, so it's just done forever. The greasable has a little bit more leeway to leak out grease. And so that's where the sealed versus greasable comes in, because this one is a sealed component. No contaminants ideally can get inside of here to mess it up. So But a greasable, you grease it, you push the contaminants out continuously through the life of it. God, let's see how it clips in. Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Do you need to put the cover back on it?
Go for it. Oh God, no.
All right, let's get it snapped in and we'll be back.
Let's pump some in. It's leaking a little bit, but we're getting some in there. And then you can feel this. I can feel that there's a little bit of grease going on, so I'll just put a little in there. Have to go slow because it's like, see how it comes out? Whoa, crap, hurry up, get it back in there. Yeah, well, you get it. That's how much comes out.
We're liking that.
I'll open it up a little bit, make sure the air comes out, clean it all up. We'll put the snap ring back on it. And yeah, I like it. It's done. Okay, so I put the ring back on and kind of go up a little bit. You can feel there's a little bit of grease in there. It's not completely dry. It's not completely over full. It doesn't smash out when I go up. I like that a lot better. So got a little lube on it. Now we'll put this up. Maybe I'll put a little bit inside the hole here. Just touch it, throw a little grease on it. Pound this over to the side, stick it up there, and we can get the nut started. Like that.
Nut.
We can throw the nut on there. At least it's together and it's gonna kind of hold the axle. Hold the bottom stud right here because it's not seated in the hole yet. And then I just give it a little snugging up just by hand until it seats. You see the ball joint tweaking all to the side. It's actually moving the axle too as I'm tightening it up. This right here, it's very common to change your track bar and then your steering will be off because it's just very, very common. So we don't really care because we're gonna put it all together and straighten it up anyways, but just doing a little bit of snugging just to get it up so it's touching right there and almost snug. But at least now it's seated. I should be able to turn it without spinning the stud now. Just needs to seat in the hole right there and it keeps it from spinning. So we haven't tightened the other side of the track bar, but that'll be fine. So I would hope that you would recognize when somebody does more work than other people. I gotta go soap and water this knuckle, but I went ahead and painted it all, and now I'm just going through all of the spots, touching off on everything, getting any kind of rust and nastiness off, especially in these grooves right here. These grooves are kind of tricky. A lot of times just a little screwdriver right here and just run along. You see all the dirt I'm getting off? The more dirt you get off of this, the better that ball joint is gonna sit right there on it. So I want all this stuff as much as I can. So just pay attention to all of this, and generally if we do the prep work on all of the parts, there's no surprises when you come down to the end. Everything's already been done. It goes together like it's supposed to. But in order to do that, it takes all this extra time that I could be bolting it back together. Everybody else in the world, this son of a gun would be back on the truck right now. It'd be gone. They'd probably be driving the truck out of the bay. But I just don't do it like that. Bench is a mess, but that knuckle's not. That is all the way done. It's ready to accept new ball joints, ready to accept new vacuum seals and tie rods. And I got the other one sitting over here just waiting. I put them in the vise and then I'll press the ball joints in. So we're gonna do that right now. I wanna do the bottom one first and then the top one. The C-clamp going through the hole to put the bottom one in. Action to set it up. Looks like it's working. Okay, that's the lower ball joint. Can never remember how the heck all these parts go.
Now it's upper ball joint time.
Except I don't like that. Let's scoot that over a little bit.
Okay.
Actually, I want to move it just a little bit more this way because that thing's curved. Okay, here we go. You should do it with the impact.
Oh my gosh.
The whole bench is moving.
I know. I'm afraid the vise is gonna rip off the bench. We really need to get a piece of plate metal there. I won't show you what it looks like, but it looks scary.
Look at that reveal and it's up against it. Okay, well, we've got a shooting at the Chiefs parade. That freaking figures. This world is stupid. But okay, back to these forward ball joints. It should be touching right there, all the way down in there. This knuckle isn't straight either. It's tapered. I mean, it bottomed out pretty freaking good. It's the last ball joint.
Yep, last one going in.
There it is. Okay, ball joints are done.
Yay!